that just tells you everything that we've been telling you. This is just confirmation. And what's hilarious is this is confirmation from the people that want to pay the money. Sponsors. Oh man, Angel Reese fans are gonna be pissed.
Angel Reese is making headlines, but not the kind that attract brands. Instead of rolling out endorsements, sponsors are quietly stepping back. And with her signature Reebok shoe scheduled for 2026, whispers are already circulating that the deal may be on unstable ground.
Here, I thought Angel Reese was a big deal. I thought she was a box office draw. According to her pretend friends in the mainstream media, Angel Reese is a huge star.
Angel Reese's layup woes have become almost comedic. In one game, what should have been an easy putback spiraled into a viral blooper. Missed not once, but multiple times in succession. Commentators scramble for polite descriptions, but the footage spread like wildfire online, and not for the reason she'd want.
We have commentators laughing at this.
Washington has done that incredibly well so far. Reese missed the first one, still with it blocked.
They realized that they were laughing and then quickly stopped themselves like, oh, I can't laugh. I'm live right now. I can't laugh. I'm live right now. Let me let me get real serious real quick.
This
Angel,
season,
come on, man.
Reese is shooting 44.4% from the field, a number that might seem decent until you consider that most of her shots come right at the rim. For comparison, pros usually finish layups at a 70 to 80% clip. Reese, however, has turned basketball's simplest shot into a 50 to 50 gamble, sparking what analysts have dubbed the Angel Reese effect, where routine buckets suddenly look impossible.
This was an epic embarrassment, bro. Remember, this is a pro basketball player. Won a national championship. Their calling card they'd like to hang over is she beat Caitlin Clark. Remember that. Watch this.
Reversal with the miss. Angel Reese picks it up, what she's good at. Getting another offensive rebound. She says, give me that. How about another? Persistence trying to pay off. Jones gets a piece. Angel Reese won't give up. Jones with another block.
Are you serious, guys? Look at this.
Angel Reese, convinced she had crafted a marketing masterstroke, plotted the perfect debut for her Reebok shoe at the All-Star game. The plan was simple. The spotlight of Indianapolis. Caitlin Clark is co-captain, pulling in record viewership, and Reese sees in the moment with her signature sneaker reveal. It was supposed to be her chance to ride the wave of what many call the Caitlin Clark effect and flip it in her favor.
Angel Reese 100% has benefited from attaching herself to Caitlin Clark at every single turn. She used Caitlin Clark as promo. Now with Reebok, she's using. This is nonstop. She has attached herself to Caitlin Clark at every single turn, and she has benefited.
Instead, the plan unraveled into a case study in disastrous timing, Murphy's Law in action. Just days before the All-Star festivities, Caitlin Clark went down with a right groin injury on July 15th. The setback knocked her out of the three-point contest and the main event itself, the very stage Reese was banking on to showcase her shoe. Without Clark's star power drawing eyes, the grand unveiling lost the spotlight it desperately needed.
Shaq and Allen Iverson are going to go and do what they can to promote their player. Like, even still here, like, you had the Angel Reese saying that she was, taking over Indiana, and there's about 15 fans there. And more than wearing Caitlin Clark merch than her merch. She pulls up with about 15 fans, and I'm like, take over, Angel, take over. This is her city now. And I'm like, and she's never won a game in Indiana.
If you're enjoying this, make sure to subscribe. The irony here is almost poetic. Angel Reese has spent so much energy framing herself as Caitlin Clark's rival, an equal, if not the superior force. Yet when the moment came, she needed Clark more than ever. Without Clark on the court, the All-Star game lost its main attraction, and with it went Reese's meticulously planned sneaker debut. The numbers backed it up. Audience engagement plummeted, leaving her big reveal to fizzle in front of a fraction of the viewers she had counted on.
Take over your trap. I mean, who's she talking about right there? because Clark takes over every single trap she goes to. In fact, they gotta expand the trap so she can take over more real estate. Every single place she goes to. I mean, there is zero argument to possibly be made that she isn't the biggest attraction, the one that brings the most attention, whatever. It's not even worth talking about.
The basketball gods, it seems, have a twisted sense of humor. Angel Reese, who has loudly touted her own star power and ability to draw crowds, was forced to confront the uncomfortable truth. Her brand moment hinged on the very rival she's tried to outshine. What was meant to be her grand coronation at the All-Star Game instead turned into a brutal reminder just how much both the WNBA's visibility and her own marketing power orbit around Caitlin Clark. Now, insiders say Reese is livid, quietly blaming Clark for the bad timing of her injury, as if she chose to sit out at the worst possible moment. After months of coordination with Reebok to line up the perfect debut, Reese's big reveal was undercut by forces completely out of her control. The timing couldn't have been worse, and the fallout couldn't be more ironic.
Sponsors assured him Clark, coming to his organization, would rake in cash hand over fist. But, quote, they didn't tell us the same thing about Angel Reese. She's not the draw, folks. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Quote, I don't know if we can make that same offer. Cube initially sent the offer Clark's way when she was an Iowa Hawkeye.
But the setbacks didn't end with Clark's injury, derailing her big stage. Angel's own body seemed to conspire against her. A lingering back issue sidelined her for 4 of the Chicago Sky's last 5 games, officially labeled day-to-day, but with no clear timetable for return. From the bench, she watched as her team unraveled in spectacular fashion. The Sky, now a miserable 8-21, have turned losing into performance art, dropping 8 straight games during Reese's absence. For Angel, it meant not only nursing her back, but also her bruised pride as a supposed franchise centerpiece. For Reebok, the optics couldn't be worse. Picture being an exec, watching your flagship athlete clank layups in your sneakers before disappearing from the lineup altogether. The brand that once defined basketball greatness is now tied to a player whose name has become shorthand for squandered chances, figuratively and all too often literally.
Boy, to get popped by 40 at home. Now I'm seeing the Sky fans. It's some Sky fans going at Angel Reese. Sky fans is going at Angel Reese, and I didn't even think about this. Okay, so Angel Reese, you sat out the game before the All-Star game. Then you played in the All-Star game. Then you played one game and said, okay, your back is hurting. Now you're not playing. I don't know. Look, the Sky fans is bringing it up, not me. They bringing it up. Look. Don't get mad at me.
Reebok's basketball division, revitalized under Shaquille O'Neal's leadership, went all in on Angel Reese as their marquee signing, the face of their comeback in the sport. They rolled out the Reebok by Angel collection, mapped out a full signature shoe line, and marketed her as the perfect blend of grit, glamour, and cultural relevance. But personality and branding only work when they're anchored in performance, and that's where the gamble is backfiring. What should have been a triumphant signature shoe launch has instead become a cautionary tale in poor timing and miscalculation. The diamond dust colorway of the Angel Reese one, meant to embody her toughness and star appeal, now reads less like a celebration and more like a symbol of misplaced faith. Industry insiders are already whispering that Reebok might be rethinking their investment. After all, it's hard to sell sneakers when your signature athlete is trending more for missed layups and team collapses than for highlight plays. And the optics are made even worse by the side-by-side comparison. While Reese struggles through injuries in a spiraling Chicago Sky season, Caitlin Clark is smashing records, rewriting history books, and fueling unprecedented growth in viewership and revenue for the WNBA. For Angel and Reebok alike, the contrast couldn't be sharper or more damning.
Great ideas, wants to bring in talent to grow Reebok and have people wear it again because no one does. So one of his genius decisions was this. Fucking signing her, Angel Reese. If you don't know who she is, she's the queen of fish out of water going after a rebound that she shot herself and can get in the net ever. She reminds me of a 3-year-old shooting on those little kids' nets and throwing the ball and just completely missing the mark.
The fallout reaches far beyond the sneaker launch. Angel's entire brand strategy hinged on the idea that she was basketball's next big thing, a star whose charisma and personality could command attention, sell merchandise, and draw fans into arenas. But in pro sports, personality without performance is just empty noise. And noise doesn't move product. The timing of her setbacks couldn't have been worse. Just as the WNBA is riding an unprecedented wave of growth and attention, Angel has been stuck in street clothes, watching from the bench as the skies spiral. Her absence during their losing streak only underscored how much the team misses her presence, but also highlighted the bigger issue. Building a brand around inconsistent production is a gamble that doesn't always pay off. For Angel personally, the frustration is immense. She positioned herself as Caitlin Clark's equal, a rival who could match her both on the court and at the cash register. The All-Star Game was supposed to be her proof of concept, the moment she could cement her marketability in front of a massive audience. Instead, she was left with a meticulously planned campaign and no stage to execute on, a reminder that in sports marketing, timing and performance matter as much as personality.
The Fever have whooped the Sky basically every time they've played them. And did everybody forget about Barbie Night last year, where Clark and the Fever went in there and she was signing pink towels and stuff? And
the psychological weight of watching months of planning unravel has clearly worn on Angel. Insiders say her frustration has been simmering since the All-Star fiasco, and the back injury only magnified it. She's reportedly vented that Clark's untimely injury ruined everything, as if fate itself had singled her out for sabotage. But what this situation really exposes is Angel's strategic miscalculation. For all the talk of being Clark's equal, she built her biggest marketing moment around Clark's presence, an admission, intentional or not, that Caitlin's star power is the engine that drives attention. Without Clark, Angel's carefully staged debut lost its shine. That reality is sparking uncomfortable questions in Reebok's boardrooms. Did executives misread the risk of tying their basketball revival to an athlete whose on-court reputation is defined as much by missed layups as by made plays? Can you credibly market a hero shoe when a hero is better known for bloopers and brilliance? The signature sneaker business thrives on aspiration. Fans buy because they want to emulate greatness. But if your face of the brand is generating more low-light reels and highlights, the message becomes muddled. Instead of inspiring young players, it risks becoming a punchline, and that's the last thing any athlete or brand can afford.
There's a dude on the internet who cracks me up. On TikTok, he's put together a load of Angel Reese clips, and it'll say Angel Reese part 36, and it goes, Angel Reese going up for another layup, she misses, bang! And I mean, dude, it's the funniest. And my whole thing is this, dude. She just seems as uncoordinated as a baby giraffe. Yeah, I mean, come on, man.
Angel Reese's story is quickly turning into a cautionary tale about what happens when personality outpaces performance. In today's sports culture, social media clout and cultural relevance can elevate an athlete's profile, but they can't erase the bottom line. At the end of the day, you still have to deliver on the court. No amount of podcast appearances, runway moments, or slick marketing can offset the image of botched layups playing on repeat in front of a national audience. The Chicago Sky's ongoing collapse has only deepened the scrutiny. Yes, Angel leads in several statistical categories, but the team's abysmal record raises uncomfortable questions about her true impact. Do her numbers actually translate to winning basketball? Or are they empty stats piled up in losses? For Reebok, and any brand looking to package her as a champion and leader, that a narrative nightmare. Selling sneakers around a winner becomes nearly impossible when the scoreboard keeps telling a different story.
You know, in the past, when I said things like Angel Reese is not a good basketball player, I think I spoke too soon. At this point, I've come to realize that Angel Reese, the self-appointed most important player in the WNBA, is not a bad player. She may be the worst player, at least whose name we actually...
The cruel irony of Angel Reese's situation is that she had everything she said she wanted. a marquee endorsement deal, a signature shoe line, and a national stage. But the one factor she couldn't control, Caitlin Clark's health, was the linchpin of her entire plan. When Clark went down, so did the moment Reese had so carefully constructed is a hard truth, but one that applies to both sports and life. Even the best-laid plans can collapse under forces outside your control. Now, as Reese sits sidelined with back injury, watching her coronation dissolve into a case study in miscalculation, the lesson practically writes itself. You can't build lasting success on someone else's shine. Real stars don't need their rivals to make them relevant. They create moments of their own. The question for Reese is whether she'll finally recognize that, or remain trapped in the shadow of the very player she spent so much time trying to eclipse.